Now we're back in our Planning Team Financial Advisors post-game show. Planning Team Financial Advisors, helping clients work towards financial freedom. Well, I apologize for the technical difficulties there a moment ago. You just can't control when the internet plug gets pulled sometimes, so we'll get that sorted out. Our next trip back to Mandan next Friday night. We'll have Davies and Mandan on the PSP network. We'll just make sure they just don't flip the switch in the middle of our post-game, but it works. But here's a recap of the scoring plays from tonight as Century wins 21-14 to extend their winning streak to 27 consecutive games. And they did it the hard way tonight, says all the scoring coming in the first half as Century got a 4-yard touchdown run from Brady Dahl in the first quarter. Osmond has the extra point, 7-0. Century led at the end of the first quarter. Mandan tied it up early in the second quarter on a 41-yard pick-6 return for a touchdown by Jackson Scott. Burgum adds the extra point, and the game was tied at 7 early in the second quarter. Then all kind of heck broke loose as Mandan attempted a field goal to go ahead, but it was blocked by the Patriots, picked up and rumbled 70 yards on the blocked kick return for a touchdown by Trayton Hinderer. 70 yards to the house. Kick was good. Century led 14-7 midway through the second quarter. On the ensuing kickoff, Mandan answered with a special teams play of their own as Carson Jablonski took it from his own 5. 95 yards later, he hit pay dirt. The Burgum kick was good with 6:11 to play in the first half. We were tied at 14, and then Century hit 2 big plays late in the first half after Mandan unsuccessfully went for it on 4th down. Peyton Arndt had a big reception to set Century up at the 3-yard line, and then Arndt took it the distance, 3-yard touchdown run, 45 seconds left in the first half. Kick was good. Century led 21-14 at halftime. No scoring in the third and fourth quarters, and Century's defense stood tall, and the Patriots win 21-14. As we can give you a look at our BNC National Bank scoreboard update here, final scores in from across the region and the state has Fargo North defeating Red River 42-8. Final score in from the Sanford Sports Complex over in Bismarck, West Fargo Cheyenne defeating Legacy 36-7, the final there. Minot goes to Williston tonight and picks up a W in shutout fashion. 31-0, the Magicians win that one in the Keybird City. Fargo Shanley, I don't think that's a final. That's a late game score as Shanley leads Jamestown 26-13. A final score in has St. Mary's defeating Wahpeton tonight 51-13. And then games in progress. West Fargo leads Fargo South 14-0, and Dickinson leading Watford City 14-0 in that game as well. No report in from Bismarck High at Davies, so we'll continue to effort a final score in that particular contest. All right, Chuck, should we take a break? Should we run through the final game statistics? All right, you got the individual and team numbers here as Century improves to 5-0 in the season and undefeated in West Region play. They're moved to 3-0 in WDA play. Mandan falls to 2-3 overall, and their record is now level 2-2 in WDA, Western Dakota Association Conference play. Here's the individual team and team numbers.
Yeah, Mandan just 47 yards total the second half. Lincoln Wiseman had 14 carries for 18 net yards. Brendan Palmer, 3 for 7 yards. Max Carlson, the quarterback, had 4 for a net yards of 9. So rushing just 16 yards on 21 carries for the Mandan Braves. That Century defense just ridiculous again. Max Carlson throwing the football 15 of 27, 146 yards and 1 interception. So total plays for the Braves, they had 48 plays for 162 yards. Receiving for the Mandan Braves, Tri Frank had 6 for 60, did not catch the football in the second half. Carson Jablonski had 3 for 38, but that 13-yarder that cost him to go out the rest of the football game as he had a strained hamstring and he never did come back in. So that was huge for Mandan, the offense. Luke Darris had 2 catches for 27 yards. Rustin Mendenwald had 2 catches for 17, and Lincoln Wiseman had 1 for a net 0 yards for him and a swing pass. For the Patriots, boy, they run the football a lot that second half. They ran the football 33 times in that second half, split between Arndt and Brady Dahl. Dahl led him 21 carries, 101 yards, Todd, and a 4-yard touchdown in the first half. Peyton Arndt, 20 carries for 59 yards. He had a 3-yard touchdown run. Jacob Bosley, he starts out with a 42-yard run early on, and he only got touched it twice more after that, so he ends up with 3 for 47. Isaiah Pajamula came in. He had 2 carries for 9. Trevor Reagan had 1 for 2, and Jacob Brents had a jet sweep for 5 yards. Throwing the football, Brady Dahl was 4 of 7 for 91 yards in the first half and 2 interceptions, while he finishes 4 of 8 for 91 yards. It only attempted 1 pass in that second half for the Patriots. Jacob Brenz had a catch for 22 yards. Peyton Arndt had 2 for 52, including a big 53-yarder that set up his 3-yard touchdown run. Trayton Hinderer had 1 catch for 17 yards. So the Patriots, this was the difference of the football game. 48 rushes for 223 yards. So they were plus 207 on the ground for the Patriots. That Patriot ground game was tough tonight. 91 passing yards for the Patriots compared to 146 for Mandan. So 57 total plays for the Patriots for 314 yards. Mandan did have 48 plays, but 32 of those were in the first half. So they only had 16 plays in the second half for yardage of just 47 yards. So 314 to 162 to the second half dominance, even though the score didn't change. But offensively, Century just dominated the football. The punting game, Century doesn't want to talk about it. They had 1 for 46, but they had a bad snap. They had a punt block, if you want to call that, and Mandan punting, they had 3 punts for 43-yard average, 7 penalties for the Patriots, just 2 for Mandan. 12 first downs for Century. They had 7 the second half, and that really was the difference, as they just ball control offense, including a one drive that was almost 8.5 minutes. It didn't result in scoring, but it took off a lot of time off the clock. 1 sack, Ben Mansmith. He'd have been a guy that we probably could have talked to as well. It wouldn't have mattered. You wouldn't have heard him anyway. And then interceptions. Jacob Bosley had an interception for the Patriots in the first half, and then Try Frank had 1, and Jackson Scott had a big interception that was returned for 41 yards. So the Patriots, they moved to 5-0 TD, 27 in a row, and they just keep rolling. But the Chinks are feeling like they're a little more.
Yep.
And it's not quite as smooth as it was in previous seasons, but hey, a win's a win.
Well, and it was a game that had a little bit of everything. I mean, not every game you get to call has a kickoff return for a touchdown, a pick six, a blocked field goal for a touchdown, and just turnovers loomed large. And Century, for all intents and purposes, folks, played keep away the entire second half, and they held the football and ran the football effectively to just more, in essence, ice the football game away as Century wins this one by 7. Put a wrap on our Planning Team Financial Advisors post-game show. When we come back, we'll hand out our player of the game and our move of the game, and we'll give you one more round around our BNC National Bank scoreboard update, along with setting up our upcoming schedule on the PSP network. Final score from Mandan tonight on your BNC Bank scoreboard. It's Century 21, Mandan 14.
Or planning for farm or business succession. Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advice offered through GWM Advisors, LLC, doing business as Goss Advisors, a registered investment advisor. GWM Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
BNC has been here for over 25 years.
We're still a community bank that's there for you.
When you come in with your business plan, your vision, your idea, we can make it a reality.
I love seeing projects come alive for our clients.
We're real people helping real people.
We know you, and we're always happy to see you.
We build relationships.
You're part of the BNC family.
We are part of the community.
It's what we're built on.
Yours truly, BNC.
We're back in Mandan, putting a wrap on tonight's broadcast. Good to have you on board the PSP network. Hope you enjoyed our digital audio and video broadcast tonight. Pleased to bring you this action from Mandan tonight as Century wins number 27 in a row over the Mandan Braves. Your final score on your BNC Bank scoreboard, 21-14. The Patriots and the Mandan Braves scored all those points in the first half. No scoring in the second half, but Century nonetheless improves to 5-0. Mandan falls to 2-3. We're back on our Planning Team Financial Advisors post-game show where they're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession. Planning Team Financial Advisors are here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. Visit us online at planningteam.com. One more final score that we didn't pass along earlier that just came across the wire has Fargo Davies defeating Bismarck High School in shutout fashion. Davies 27, Bismarck 0. Again, the earlier finals that we reported to you, Fargo North defeats Red River 42-8. And Minot defeats Williston tonight in shutout fashion 31-0. And St. Mary's outlasts Wahpeton 51-20. Other games that are in progress, West Fargo leading South 14-0. And Shanley on top of Jamestown 26-13. Dickinson leading Watford City 14-0. Those games have not gone final. All right, fans, it's time now for our Sport Clips Player of the Game. Sport Clips brings you the MVP of this matchup. They're located on South 3rd Street, and they're the home to the MVP haircut experience. Sport Clips brings you tonight's game MVP. Chuck, are we going to the defensive side of the football for the Century Patriots?
I don't know how we can't, Todd. I mean, it was you look at Century. Offensively, they scored touchdowns on a blocked field goal, and on some turnovers, and ultimately, to me, just defensively, that effort that they put out tonight, only giving up 160 yards of total offense, 162 yards of total offense, including just 47 the second half. So the guy we called not time and time again at the end, from the beginning to end, is Ben Mansmith. What a game this guy played. He had the only sack of the game, and he had pressure upon pressure. I know he probably was in double digits of tackles, or surely close to that. And for that, he's our Sport Clips MVP of the game, Ben Mansmith.
Yeah, congratulations, the 6'2", 190-pound linebacker. Boy, he had a lot of run-through blitzes tonight for Century from that linebacker spot. Ben Mansmith, your Sport Clips Player of the Game. Be the MVP when you go to Sport Clips for their MVP haircut experience. Nothing makes you feel quite like an MVP like the experience at Sport Clips. Sport Clips located on 411 South 3rd Street in Bismarck. Here's our upcoming PSP Network schedule. Next Tuesday and Thursday, we'll have volleyball action for you. Legacy at Minot. That's volleyball action on Tuesday, the 28th of September. Then Thursday night, we'll have Century at Mandan. Volleyball action again from Braves Gymnasium. Next Friday night, doubleheader football. Minot at Cheyenne and Davies at Mandan. We'll be right back here at the Starion Sports Complex in Mandan next Friday night. Davies and Mandan are featured broadcast on the PSP Network. All right, Chuck, last thing for us to do is to bring you our move of the game, brought to you by Jobbers Moving and Storage. Jobbers can help you move across town or across the country. Locations in Bismarck, Minot, Fargo, and Aberdeen. Find them online at jobberswarehouse.com. It was specialty plays tonight that are going to be the move of the game.
Well, hey, there's a lot of opportunities for the Jobbers move of the game. It could be the Jackson Scott interception return. It could be the Arndt 53-yard catch, that ended up with a touchdown. It could be the Jacob Bosley 42-yard run. It could be the Jablonski 95-yard kickoff, but we're not going there, right? We're going to go with the blocked field goal. I wish I knew who blocked the field goal, because it could be like the tag team. They could both get their wig snapped at Sport Clips. But for TD, for me, it was Hinder. He picked up that blocked Sarah Burgum field goal, and then he just turned up the other way, went 70 yards, and that really put Century ahead 14-7. And to me, that was a huge, huge play of the game right there.
Yeah, indeed. That's your move of the game. The 70-yard field goal block return for a touchdown by Trayton Hinder, the senior, had his fingerprints on this game, and that's your move of the game, brought to you by Jobbers, where they focus on the details of the process without ever losing sight of the big picture. They have an efficient step-by-step approach to move management. All the details for every move, every day, every step of the way. Locations in Bismarck, Minot, Fargo, and Aberdeen. Find them online at jobberswarehouse.com.
Thanks, Wally and Sandy Keller.
Absolutely. Thanks to all of our
back on our sponsors.
Yeah, thanks to all of our PSP Network sponsors. We couldn't do it without them. As in-game, you heard from BNC National Bank bringing you our scoreboard. Timeouts tonight brought to you by Hub International Insurance. Post-game, as always, brought to you by the Planning Team Financial Advisors. Our player of the game brought to you by Sport Clips. The move of the game Brought to you by Jobbers Moving and Storage and in-game sponsors, the Medicine Shop of Bismarck, Tires Plus, and Chuppy Clinic in Bismarck. That'll put a wrap on our broadcast tonight. Again, the next Friday night, football action, Minot at Century on the PSP Network and Davies at Mandan. Those will be our featured broadcasts. For my partners, Chuck Claremont, Nick Hulberg, Todd Domers repeating your final score. It's Century winning number 27 in a row. They improved to 5-0. Mandan falls to 2-3. Your final score, Century 21, Mandan 14. Thanks for joining us, fans, and until next time, so long from the Starion Sports Complex in Mandan.
Broadcast presentation on the PSP Network is brought to you by BNC National Bank, Subway, Hub International Insurance, The Medicine Shop, Bismarck State College, Bobcat of Mandan, Tires Plus, Chuppy Chiropractic Clinic, Bismarck LASIK, and Planning Team Financial Advisors. Make sure to stay up to date with all things high school athletics at PSP.network. Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.